career and having been retired from the game for a few years, Gordie Howe found himself back on the ice at the age of 45. This time in Houston, Texas, of all places, playing for the Arrows of the WHL. And as if one Howe on the ice wasn't enough to make you turn your head, you'd better look out, because now there were three.
We never pushed the kids, but what happened, I think one of the reasons why Mark is still in the game, Marty, is that the talents were there with both of them. Marty's love was football. And if you devote your one attention in a certain direction, you're spreading yourself out. So finally he took, as a lot of young athletes, our backs are broken when the coaches don't think. And he was studying very hard and tutoring for English, so he had to miss certain practice on a Thursday. So on Friday, the game is, they didn't take his uniform. So it just broke his heart, and he came back home. He said, "Where's the best junior hockey played? I want to go there." So he moved into Toronto. But Mark lived and slept. He was right here by me, and even to the point where he made a rule in the Detroit dressing room. He would sit there with me, and I had my arms on, patting him, be quiet. Like, Jack Adams come in, he started hollering and hooting, and little Mark looked up. He says, "Who's that fat guy?" Oh God! So the rule was put in: no more kids in the dressing room. But this Mark's going in his 21st year. But I think that's why he was a defensive. He'd have been tremendous forward. He read well, could manufacture play, he could skate with the best of them and shoot, good wrist shot, and quick release. He had everything going, but I think he'd admit it if I ever cornered the kid, but I think he moved back to defense. He played both during junior. But I think one of the reasons why he moved back was there was non-comparison. I never played that position.
In Detroit, they had a line called the production line. Mm-hmm. Yourself, Abel, and Lindsay. How important was the rest of the line to you?
It's very important. It's I don't know how to put it, but a success on any line is the ability to read one another's moves. And I guess it'd be in baseball, your catcher and your pitcher. If he's given the proper signals, that's a combination. So in the game of hockey, and Wayne Gretzky, I found out after 2 games playing against the Russians with him, is that he'd take a little look at you, and he's computing where you should be if you're doing the same thing. And so I soon learned that Abel was making certain moves to me, and that was more so a clue to me to go to get to a certain spot, because he puts himself on the backhand or something, so I'd have to move over and get away with that body between us. So, but basically what I'm trying to say, we read one another extremely well, and then we traveled by trains, which meant a great deal, because we had 4 hours of conversation after every game. And why did you do this, and why did you do that? And it's Sid was the leader of that. So Sid was the leader. Now Lindsay was the guy that he was a stoker. He was firing me up. I relaxed. I enjoyed the game, but he was a competitor. Oh, he'd cut his mother.
What does the Hockey Hall of Fame mean to you?
Well, sometimes it gets less. And I hate it. I don't want to bring it up, but there's certain things are happening there that I don't particularly like. I think it'd be in the Hall of Fame where it's your dream. It's everybody's dream to be recognized as a Hall of Famer. But some of the things that are happening now, and some of the people who are being admitted into it, I think in my mind it diminishes. Just prove what the man did or the men did to get there. Then I'll acknowledge it. But I was quite defiant, because we went up there, and I'd like to be involved, and but they gave us jackets, and I won't wear that jacket till some things are settled. It's just, that's my belief, and that's how. And then maybe they should take it in that line. I believe so much in it that I believe things should be perfect.